Hello everyone, Silent back again, and last time I discussed what I viewed as a disappointing game and my negative experiences with it. Fucking Thug 2. But this time around, I'm going to spotlight an overlooked original Xbox gem. Deathrow. Deathrow is an extreme sports game developed by SouthEnd Interactive. Development started in 1999 for the PC, but they switched to the Xbox because of more options for graphical quirks. That's a first. Things like bump mapping, pixel shaders, and specular lighting were all now viable options for them. It even says on the back of the case, Xbox Muscle! Graphic superiority pushes Xbox power to the limit. Sorry. The game was eventually released in October 2002 and gained positive reception from most gaming media outlets. Deathrow takes place in the 2200s in an era where a fictional sport called Blitz is finally garnering popularity to the point of being on various television networks, despite initially being an illegal underground scene. Blitz is essentially a sport where your 4-person team takes on another 4-person team for control of a disc. You throw the disc through a hoop, unleash ass whoopings and taunt your competitors, tell your opponent to go fuck themselves, and then unleash a bullet time style body slam? Pretty elementary stuff. Now there are two ways to win the game: score more goals than the other team within the 4-round frame, or knock out the entire other team during one of the rounds for an automatic victory. BAM, motherfucker! The controls can be a little awkward at times, but not to the point of detracting from the gameplay. Well, it does detract when you do this. While the controls for Deathrow aren't the greatest, there's an implementation in the game which allows you to zero in on either the disc or the enemy's goal, depending or not on whether you have the disc. All you have to do is hold down the right trigger. Now, while this makes controlling your character a whole lot easier, it almost makes it a little bit too easy. You don't really have to use both control sticks, you don't have to take awkward big turns or look around for the disc. This pretty much just plays the game for you. Having trouble finding the disc? Just press R. Having trouble making that shot and aiming it towards the net? Just press R and cut an awkward angle. You'll get it in almost every time. While I can see how this feature might be geared towards the new player who is kind of struggling with the controls and, you know, controlling the character, making that shot maybe, what's to stop more experienced players from exploiting this feature and just dominating the competition? I mean, it almost creates an unbalanced feel to it. Moving on. Along with punches, kicks, and grabs, there's also the ability to charge up the disc when it's in your hand to throw a more powerful shot, along with making it look all green and radioactive. When released, the disc goes rocketing towards the hoop where one of two things happens. The disc flies through the hoop and your team celebrates like a group of testosterone-filled cheerleaders that they are as a result, or you thrash your opponent's skull with a flying death saucer. This does significant damage. This maneuver is called a Deathrow. You can also set up elaborate passing during plays and execute the blitz equivalent of an alley-oop, except it's much cooler. You get the announcer voice, I'll get the slow-mo. Fucking sick, bro. Deathrow had some pretty impressive features considering it was one of the earlier Xbox titles, utilizing a lot of the options the Xbox offered. The game looks nice even to this day, so their use of the supposed Xbox Muscle was justified. Not to mention they allow you to get your 3 buddies to join you in game alongside you. They also had system link support which doubled the original player count. The only letdown is that there was no online feature, but you could bump your rad beats using the custom soundtrack feature, which more than made up for it.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Cocked your head to the side when I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me, saying get back together, come back and see me. 3 days since the living room. I realized it's all my fault, but couldn't tell you. Yesterday you'd forgiven me, but it'll still be today.
Yeah. I suppose that the custom soundtrack feature was compensation for the fact that there was only a handful of catchy electronic music tracks. There was also a copious amount of options even within the rule set themselves. You have the option to have lockdowns to avoid someone going all American History X on somebody else and curb stomping the ever-loving crap out of them. You can toggle beneficiary items that pop up around the map that offer bonuses like health replenishment, strength enhancement, financial gain, and so on. You can switch multi-scoring on or off so you don't have to necessarily go to the center every time you want to score another goal like the game intends you to do. You can change the length of the rounds, but unfortunately not the amount of rounds. There's even an unlockable game mode that places numerous discs on the field, so it doesn't matter who has the disc because you all get discs. Discs for everybody. Screw shooting t-shirts into the audience, get your gigantic metallic potentially damaging disc today. Complete chaos on the battlefield and I love it. Everyone gets goals. Everyone is an MVP, a VIP, a beautiful and unique snowflake. There's also an alternate camera angle option. It's kinda sucky based on the fact that it eliminates the lines that are usually on your screen, indicating whether or not you're on range to pass to a teammate or shoot for the net, making it much more difficult to set up your plays, but I guess it's more intended to show you what it would look like if you were one of the folks watching at home. Still, it's kinda sucky. And I wouldn't recommend using it. Doing the previously mentioned actions of knocking out an opponent or scoring a goal earns you currency, more specifically credits. You earn even more from shutting out your opponents. You can use these credits to purchase extra things like new teams, new players, new arenas, new game modes, concept art, and so on, along with the ability to doctor your team in between rounds if you're taking a beating. Credits also have a significant use in the game's career mode. Career mode allows you to pick 4 teams to start and 13 teams if you unlock the other teams with credits. Overall, the game has 18 unlockable teams, meaning that 5 teams were left out of the career mode, which I guess would be a good thing since the absent teams would probably steamroll the competition despite the fewer personnel.
I'm Wolverine! I'm Wolverine! Maybe X-23 cause she hot as fuck. Oh shit! Why are you bleeding all over my floor? I just had this installed. Don't you know I sleep here? This is my home and you bleeding all over the place, but I just wanted to give you a love tap.
Each team you pick has a unique story and diverse cast of characters along with their own personal strengths and weaknesses, making it an interesting experience to go through and play as each team. The story is pretty basic. A collective of teams decided to enter the Blitz tournament because of the potential prize money and championships that await them, along with all the honeys that come with it. Can I get an amen? Alright, thank you. You start off with 4 members in your squad of misfits and 2,000 credits in your pocket from your manager. Here in the team menu, you can train up your team to higher levels with the max being level 3 and better their stats as a result. Once you acquire more talent, you can switch out the weaker guys for better players to make a healthier, more powerful team. Along with the team management menu, there's also a text message menu where you get more personal messages than Facebook attention whores. Here you can buy potential recruits, performance enhancing drugs, make bets for extra credits, take managerial positions, receive bonuses from your manager, get involved with detrimental acts that cause loss of money, participate in extra games you can play against crazy teams that offer an ass whooping. This sort of leads to the recurring complaint of the large difficulty curve, which I kind of experienced myself by the time I reached the Champ Division, along with facing the optional teams which gave me more trouble than the Championship team. But at the same time, what do you expect? You expect facing off against gruff miners, killer robots, agile ninjas, and bloodthirsty demons is gonna be easy? This ain't Bush League anymore. We're combatant convicts with weird Dead Poet Society group tattoos, Swedes in scuba suits, or football players running around towel snapping each other on the ass anymore. This is serious business. Serious. We guide our team of badass blitz players through a wide variety of interesting and unique maps while combating a multitude of tough opponents and scaling the tournament ladder. Some of the maps were actually pretty neat, and being that certain maps have multiple layers to them, it adds a sense of diversity. Jumping off boosters to get up to higher ground, jumping off ramps doing some Tony Hawk ass shit, or just running headlong across the flat map. This game has it all. Let's also not forget the wide variety of characters they have in the game that I mentioned before, such as Scaly Demon Guy with eye makeup, Jason Voorhees, Psychotic Dildo Robot, Football Player getting spa treatment, Tumblr Dweller Goth Chick, Binocular Headman, or Chocolate Visor Cop with an attitude. All jokes aside, there are many interesting and awesome character designs that give the game extra flair, not to mention the teams that they're a part of. The story mode consists of 4 divisions and 1 final challenge along with the previously mentioned 4 bonus exhibition matches. Once you romp through the Rookie, Pro, Elite, and Champ divisions, a final challenge awaits you, where you square off against the undisputed champions in the first Blitzers, who are, well, really challenging, I guess, as final challenge would suggest. After triumphing over the golden suited All-Stars, we are presented with a cutscene of us kicking one of the first Blitzers players in the spine and unmasking them as the crowd cheers in the background. And that's the game. Deathrow was a very addicting and entertaining game to play, either on your own or with your friends. This game was packed to the brim with gameplay customization, vulgarity, brutality, and just plain fun. Visually, it still looks pretty solid. The story mode along with the multiplayer were both very enjoyable. The numerous bonus purchases are worth grinding out exhibition matches or campaigns for, and there's enough diversity in the cast and in the options menus to keep the game fresh for a while. The only issues that I noticed were the lack of online mode, high difficulty curve, along with somewhat awkward controls. Problems that I wish would have been corrected had a sequel been made. Although SouthEnd had aspirations to make a second installment to Deathrow, the game sold poorly and never gained the recognition it deserved, resulting in Ubisoft's hesitation to release a second Deathrow game. In 2013, SouthEnd folded and their staff was hired to Ubisoft Massive, thus ending the Deathrow dream. Single tear. SouthEnd? More like South Dead. No? Oh, I got a good one. Hold on. Looks like things went south, and they met their end. Get it? Because it's the name of the company. I'm just gonna stop there. Once again, all jokes aside, Deathrow is a great game, and I highly recommend it to everyone watching out there. Pick it up if you don't have it, or rent it, or whatever. Try it out, and let me know what you think of it. Be sure to stay tuned on the Silent Lost channel and VG Master Unit channel for future videos and content. Thank you so much for watching, and take care everybody.